Hello YouTube, this is Crazy JD Kid. I'm back to bringing a review of this Echo PB-500T here. 50.8cc backpack blower. It works very well for what I use it for. I think it retails for about $300, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to do a quick walk around and you can see what it looks like around the machine. Yeah. So I've had this machine for 6 months. It seems to live up to what I need it for. It runs great. It seems to have plenty of power. It's a little heavy on fuel, but you know, expect something this big to be use a lot of fuel. That blower there, you can see that's my light duty blower when I don't need to be guzzling gas to get stuff done. This is a 50-to-1 mix gas ratio, as you can see right there. As you can see, here's one of the first cons of this machine. You cannot see the gas tank. Normally the gas tank would be down in this general area down here, but not in this machine. They decided to put the gas tank behind your back. I'm going to take a guess. Why they did that is to put the gravity more towards your back instead of back here, and the center it towards your back, so then it's less weight on the operator. The gas cap is right here, so you can see. It says 50-to-1 oil mix. It is 51. So you can see your main fuel line and return line is right there. Go all the way down through here and back up. Now, I see that as a future problem, as in you're gonna have to buy a lot of fuel line to get fuel to this machine. So there's the machine. It does have a Walbro carb. I'm not sure if it'll focus on that. Maybe it will, but it's a Walbro stratified carb. Now, some of you guys may think this machine may not have a lot of power. I've put this in almost every scenario can. I had to clean a school stadium, and I brought this along, and I was being able to blow multiple cups full of soda, bags of popcorn, all at once, and it worked great. It saved about half an hour of time from how long it would normally take. But the machine is very heavy duty. It keeps the Echo's traditional design, keeping the engine very open to help disperse heat. A lot of engines have a lot of shrouding over them, and it traps the heat and then doesn't allow the machine to cool off very well. This machine is an exception to that rule because of all the great venting allows it to disperse the heat very well. Give you a quick underview here. I'll take off the air filter now. You have these two black knobs here. They seem to be okay. I don't know why they just didn't put a hinge down here and a knob up here, but I don't know why they didn't do that. That might have been a little smarter, but they engineer stuff for a reason. So as you can see, there's inside the shroud there. Here's the air filter. It looks like one of those mini Briggs & Stratton or Kohler or whatever air filters. That's good to see on stuff. This is made in Lake, I think it's Zurich, Illinois or Michigan or something like that, but it is made in the United States. Get this thing back on here. There's your choke right there, nice and protected back in there. Like I said, it keeps the Echo's normal design of simplicity. Echo machines are very simple and easy to work on, make it easier for the basic homeowner to work on their equipment. And, all right, back to what I was saying. This machine keeps the Echo's simplicity design. Very good quality materials used in here. When I went to the dealership, all they advised me of is that Echo usually has only two problems. It's the fuel lines, the fuel lines and fuel filters, and the air filters. That's really all they say that you'll ever have to replace in these machines. They're amazingly reliable, Echoes are. This is my first Echo, but I've used multiple Echoes when I've worked on a farm. All they used was Echoes. This specific one was made in July 2012. You can get this in two different versions here. This one's PB-500T and PB-500H. The T, like this one, has a throttle on the tube, so tube throttle. And on the H, it has a hip throttle that is mounted right here. I personally don't understand why anybody would want a hip throttled one, because then you take up two hands, because I enjoy being able to run the blower in one hand and then be able to pick up things like sticks and stuff that's in the way with the other hand. So that's a nice feature that you can opt for. You can tilt the handle by unscrewing this and it tilts forward and back, but I don't really get it because I only ever run my machine handle in one thing. I don't get why you'd need to lower it all the way down except for storage. I think this is called Posi Lock. It sort of locks it in. I've never had problems with tubes flying out of the machine before, but I guess this will prevent it. Here's my first issue I have with the machine. As you can see, the padding is very good down here. It's very comfortable. But the thing is, when this is on your back, the only portion that's really touching your back is up here in the non-padded part. So it sort of gets rid of the whole reason why you have this here. They should have padded it up here also. I mean, that's what, like 4 or 3 more strips of padding like this would cover that just fine. And it would still be the same cost. So that would have been a little nicer if they would have added padding right there. Nice big strong straps. You can see the connections, they're pretty permanent there. They ain't coming off. And they're held in by plastic up here, plastic clips, which I don't know the longevity of that. And there's a mount if you ever want to convert it to the hip throttle. Yeah, this has tons of leaves, tons of ability to move the leaves. If you're considering a bigger blower, keep this in mind. The bigger the blower, the more gas it's going to use, and there's a point between productivity and efficiency that you need to be able to decipher there. I mean, if you're going to be using this blower to, blow off a little sidewalk of a postage stamp size lot, that's just gas wasting right there. You could use that one, get it done just as quick, and use half the amount of gas this one's going to use. Here's the primer bulb down there. Like I said, it's strato charged. Underneath the machine here, it has this nice firm base that keeps it steady on the ground like that. It's on springs, as you can see in there. You can see the springs. I don't know how well that would dampen versus the rubber boot. Yeah, it looks like that. I can't see, but it looks like they have a rubber boot down there that isolates it. But I know the Husqvarna over there used rubber boots and it worked fairly well. It uses an NGK. Get that to focus because I can't see it. Uses an NGK BPM8Y, which is pretty standard on Echo equipment, the larger Echo equipment. And if you know NGK, they're some of the best spark plugs in the business. It has a 70 decibel category 2 rating. And camera issues here. There it goes. Right there. Category 2. It's a pretty quiet machine. As you can see, the muffler is pretty large. Right there, it goes from, as you can see right there, all the way up to here. So it's a pretty quiet machine. And, it's just a normal Echo piece of equipment. I can give you a size comparison with another piece of equipment over here. Some of you guys might be familiar with this type of machine. Let me drag it all across my garage here. here's the size comparison for you. That's the blower we were just talking about, the PB-500T, and here's a Husqvarna 125BT. As you can see, the size difference, it's a little bigger, but not too much. But keep in mind that one has double the, supposedly double the power as this one. But once again, we got to keep efficiency in mind and cost savings. But that's good that this one is still reasonably sized compared to this one, even though that one has twice as much power. So that's nice. This also comes with a 5-year warranty, which is a very good warranty for equipment. There's only one other brand I could think of that has a bigger warranty, and that's Tanaka, and they have a 7-year warranty, which is fairly good. But they're the only ones I can think of that has a better warranty than that. I mean, you can't beat that. If they keep true to it, that's another question, but they offer it, so that's a plus. But yeah, this is it starts easy, doesn't smoke too much. Right now has some still mix in it, just because I'm too lazy to drive to the Echo dealer and buy mix there. So yeah, thanks. I guess we'll move on to the next portion, is which I'm starting, where I start the machine and stuff. Oh, and by the way, to all those people that are OCD about getting mail from these companies, getting like product brochures and stuff, you can just simply go to the dealer and they'll give you tons and all the product manuals you want. They'll give you a hat too if you ask for them. They give you all kinds of crap that you really don't need but you kind of want. So there's my suggestion to that. Just go to the dealer. They'll give you crap like that. You don't have to email the company. So let me get outside for the outdoor portion of this. And all right, YouTube, welcome back here. I'm going to do the outside portion of it now, where I start it up and use it. As you can hear in the background, everybody knows what blower makes that god-awful noise, as you can hear. Hopefully you can hear. I hate that noise. But yeah, we can start it up now. It probably hasn't been started in about 2 weeks. I run it, in the fall we usually run it either daily or twice a day. In the summer is used, I don't know, every twice a week, 3 times a week. So, I mean, well, that's what we use our old blower for, but this one will get the same treatment. So let's go ahead and do the starting sequence here. It's pretty simple. As long as you keep this 50-to-1 mix, you will never have any problems with this blower. Besides maintenance-wise, you won't. So here's your cold start. I'm gonna flip that up. That's pretty much your choke if you're not engine friendly. Give it a couple primes. I generally prime it till I know that's I have a feeling that I can tell there's gas in it. Keep in mind that you do have to prime it quite a bit to pump all that gas through. So that should be it. Let's make sure this is on, which I think I did, and let's go ahead and start this sucker. It was a little cold, so it's going to run a little rougher, but it runs pretty good for this. This machine runs pretty good. Here's your throttle here. If you're not used to backpack blowers, most of them have trigger throttles like this. Well, the tube mounted ones do. This button is a little bit stiff compared to most other backpack blowers, so keep that in mind. I wasn't very fond of it at the beginning, but I've gotten used to it. So you make tiny little push and it affects the C-watch. nice little push affects the RPMs. So here's your cruise, kind of just different too. You can control your throttle. You can control your throttle with that button too, but I'd prefer to use this one. To set your cruise, you can either pull back on this and pull this down, or you can pull that down straight. Yeah, so let me go find something that I might be able to blow. So let me get back, guys. So I'm back out here. I'm sorry I don't have very many leaves. It's kind of winter time, early spring. So I'm going to try to get as many leaves here as I can. Keep in mind you probably want to wear ear protection and possibly eye protection. So let me get going here. I really don't have a big supply of leaves right now, but there looks like there's some leaves on this trampoline. I might be able to give you a little demonstration here. As you can see, throttle response is pretty good. That's because of the strato charging. Rip the little blue thing right off the styrofoam here. Alright, so that's about how much I have as demonstration here, so let me get back.